Three big games to get to in today's episode, including a clash against fellow promotion hopeful Swansea City. It's episode 55 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode here on EAFC 24. Let's get into it. So we are kicking today's episode off with a game at home against Bristol City. So this is going to be the game that sees the return of Ryan Lancaster to Redmont Arena. We sold Lancaster to Bristol City for a little over $1 million, if memory serves. So we can see him in the starting lineup there on the right-hand side of midfield in a 4-3-3 for Bristol City. This is going to be one of the games that we quick sim. So we're just going to jump straight into this one and see if we can get a result. We do indeed eke out a 2-1 win. Daniel Jefferson scoring late. So Samson Tavide and Daniel Jefferson both coming up big for us in recent games. Bournemouth also get a victory, a more decisive one, 4-1 over Huddersfield. However, is Luton Town, I believe, who are top of the league. I've forgotten who's top of the league at the moment, actually. We did beat Luton Town in our most recent episode, so potentially we actually leapfrogged them. Yeah, no, Luton Town have dropped all the way down to 5th place now after that defeat to us, and it is Bournemouth who extend their lead at the top of the championship, or not extend but maintain their lead at the top of the championship at 5 points. So a good start to the episode yet again, and a clash against Millwall is going to follow. So we're going to rotate the side for this game because it is coming in quick succession after that victory over Bristol City. So Joe Powell is not going to make the team. I thought about putting him in for a moment, but actually I want to continue with Shackleton, and I do want to play Lowry. We do have a lot of fatigued players in the side at the moment. The squad, very small. And we, of course, have Barley Mumba and Keane Lewis Potter both still out, injured for 3 months, each of them. So that is really placing, it's making things difficult for us when it comes to squad selection, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Millwall, not a strong side, though, so we should still be able to eke out a victory against them away from home at the Den. So let's see what we can do. And it is a comfortable 3-0 victory. Daniel Jefferson on the score sheet again. Samson Tavide filling in at left wing this afternoon. And then Alex Lowry getting his second goal for Redmont Rangers as well. So 6 points from 6 so far in the episode. So a little bit of pressure taken off for our game against Swansea City. Definitely something you like to see. We will obviously try our best to win that game regardless. And considering Swansea at least were in the playoffs at the start of the episode, we'll have to check again here, and we can see that they're still on 33 points. So they do maintain a playoff spot for now, but I think their results must not have gone quite as well as ours in November. Let's see if we can see on the right hand side there, they did lose to Barnsley. They also lost to Portsmouth. And they lost to Millwall. So 3 straight defeats there for Swansea in November. And they did manage to beat Bolton right at the very end. So kind of fallen away, Swansea, a little bit there. But with Luton Town in 7th, it is a bit of a drop off to Bristol City then in 8th place. Bournemouth still 5 points ahead of us. So although we are winning game after game and really putting together a really solid championship campaign, Bournemouth making it so difficult for us as they continue to have an even better campaign than us. Victor Bell is going to be worth adding. Look at the size of his forehead. I hope he's a defender. He's only 5'11". I wish he was a defender, and I wish he was taller, because with the hello, Zach Perry, 5'9". Again, I'm not really sure where he fits in. I can't remember if it goes from left to right or right to left in terms of the positions. I would hope he's an attacking player based on the fact that he's only 5'9". He does have decent pace. Does have decent physical as well, though. I mean, he His shooting's terrible, though. It's tough to tell what kind of player he is. We're definitely signing him, though. He's worth 1.1 million already. And so I guess we'll just see in the youth squad in just a moment what positions he can play. And that will tell us whether it runs from right to left or left to right when we view these youth players in the future. So let's go check out. Forgot his name already, obviously. Victor Bell he is a centre back, so he's a defender. Only 5'11", so possibly he'll be pushed out to left back rather than right back. And then Zach Perry, also a defender, so it does run from left to right. Positions on the left are defensive positions, so two very, very small defenders. 5'11's not tiny, I guess, but 5'9 is very small for a centre-back, which is only a secondary position, though. But, oh, my God, look at his work rates. High, for attacking and defensive work rates. And then those play styles, 5 to 7 potential play styles, and he's a 64 overall already. We are actually a little bit short at the back. If we take a look at our squad, it'll be easier to see it from the team management screen, actually. We've got Oscar Duarte, and obviously we've got Josh Key. Beyond that, we don't really have any other fullbacks. Dorset is having to come in. Risa is having to push out and play left wing back in the case of, Duarte not being able to play for whatever reason. So there's a possibility that we could promote that young player, fairly sharpish, to be honest. And then possibly push Josh Key over to this left-hand side and play the youth player on the right when Duarte can't play. But he's certainly one to keep an eye on. 64 overall at the age of 16 with high work rates and 5 to 7 play styles. He looks absolutely incredible. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on him. On to the main event for this episode, though, and that's this game against Swansea City. They are still a playoff team, although just hanging on to the playoffs by the skin of their teeth, really. Alex Batia is going to come back in. Eli Just has returned from international duty and is fully fit. He's not particularly sharp, or he's not sharp at all, 0 sharpness. But he is fully fit at least, so he's going to make the side. Caleb Taylor can come back into the back line, and the remaining spots look good to me. So who's going to be the one to make way for Samson Tavide? Probably going to be Dorset, since we do have Risa on the bench who can push out to that left wing back position if needed. So that's going to be the bench. I'm going to give Nathan Baxter the start in this game as well, because he's not been playing very much at all. But that will be the side for this clash against Swansea City. We are, I believe, at home, and we are. So 6 points from 6 at the moment in the episode. Another team who play 5-3-2, but with the wing play tactical vision. So it'll be interesting to see how Swansea City set up. But 6 points from 6 in the episode so far. And we will look here to make it 9 points from 9 as we host Swansea City. Josh Key there against his former club, of course. Swansea City, the team that we bought Josh Key from. So, not a revenge game for him exactly. We came in with a good offer and Swansea City accepted it. It's not like they booted him out of the door. So, not looking to get his own back on his former side today, but there's always a little bit extra when teams play against former sides. And is that a penalty immediately? Eli just goes down in the box. The crowd want it, and I don't blame them at all. I think there was a legitimate shout for a penalty there, as Eli just tried to cut inside and he was brought down in the box within the first 2 minutes of the game. The referee just waved play on, signalled for Eli Just to get up. Didn't book him for diving though, so Eli Just again with the ball wide. Alex Lowry, and it's a fantastic save from the goalkeeper. Pressure early from Redmont Rangers. Swansea don't know what's hit them in these first 5 minutes. A penalty shout, a header from Alex Lowry beaten away by the goalkeeper. And we'll look to continue piling that pressure on. as Eli just again is going to try and find the space to swing one in, and he just loses control of the ball and it goes out for a goal kick. So we can see Josh Key there returning to face, not returning, but, you know, hosting his former club at his current home stadium. Redmont Arena being a good venue for the home side so far this season. We've picked up a number of good results here. Really is becoming something of a fortress, which we certainly need it to be if we are going to continue this promotion push. Really good feat from Alex Petit, and Oscar Duarte puts it in this time. Daniel Jefferson in a dangerous area. Unable to get his head on the ball though. It was cleared well by the Swansea City defence. Great challenge from Jamie Shackleton, and Swansea have hardly touched the ball in these opening 10 minutes. Going to have to try and make that pressure count. Petit trips it into Alex Lowry, tries to cut it back, and there's a handball shout there as well. Second penalty shout in the opening 10 minutes of the game. Big switch of play from Josh Key over to Oscar Duarte. Jamie Shackleton wants the ball inside. Daniel Jefferson works well with Jamie Shackleton to create an opportunity, but Swansea City again clear before Alex Petit is able to get to the ball this time. And yet again, Redmont Rangers win the ball back and look to continue with this early period of pressure that we've begun. It's good. Duarte with the ball clipped forward towards the run of Eli Just, who already is back in position to stifle a counter. Swansea actually getting their feet on the ball for the first time in the game, really. They haven't really strung two passes together before now. As we can see, Daniel Jefferson has picked up a knock. There was another ball whipped in behind from Oscar Duarte. That was the intention anyway. But the ball stolen by Swansea City. It looked as though he'd got the man first, but the referee disagrees. Josh Key with a good challenge, and Alex Petit is going to break. Doesn't quite have the pace that we would like him to have. It's a great ball clipped through for Alex Lowry, though, just can't bring it under control. So we'll have to continue to check on Daniel Jefferson, who actually looks like he's already run off that knock. Must have been just a very, very minor one. Looks like he's moving absolutely fine up front. Cleared from Caleb Taylor. Ball at Daniel Jefferson's feet. Big run from Alex Petit in behind, but Jefferson can't find him. Jesse Cartwright with his right foot spreads it wide to Oscar Duarte. Eli Just is running backwards for some reason. He had space in behind there for that ball that Oscar Duarte just clipped into the channel. But Eli Just was running in the opposite direction. Jamie Shackleton finding Caleb Taylor, who spreads it wide to Josh Key. We're finding lots of space down the wings, and Alex Petit, as I thought, has been flagged offside. So with these 5-3-2 formations that teams have played against us from time to time, we do manage to get overloads on either flank really whenever we want it, with the three kind of central midfielders and no true wide midfielders in the form of either, you know, more traditional midfielders or in the form of wingers. The space on the flanks do really open up. As we've got our fullbacks who we know like to get forward, in addition to those wingers, and you can really isolate the opposition fullback in a 2-on-1. Swansea with their first shot on goal, but it's one from range, and it is blocked just on the edge of the box. So it doesn't cause us too much trouble, but it's the first sight of goal for Swansea City. As we see there again, one of those 2-on-1s. Eli Just managing to clip the ball forward to Oscar Duarte this time. That does mean, however, that we do need to rely on the opposite winger to get into the box, because Daniel Jefferson is often isolated. That's never a free kick. Lionel's flagging there for no reason whatsoever. Daniel Jefferson often is isolated in the box against the 3 defending centre-backs. So we are reliant upon the opposite winger and people like Alex Lowry to get into the box and try and either get on the end of a cross themselves or at the very least distract a defender or two so that Daniel Jefferson can get free. Another shot from Swansea City, but again it's a fairly tame one. Nathan Baxter deals with it incredibly comfortably. Oscar Duarte, poor pass there. Sent Bert Grieser running. Swansea not pressing too high though, and Jesse Cartwright just manages to spread the ball wide to Josh Key. Again, that ball behind is on. Alex Petit cuts it inside this time. Great run from Daniel Jefferson, and he's blocked off by the Swansea City defender. Showed no interest in playing the ball there. Just wanted to get in Daniel Jefferson's way. Good feet from Alex Lowry as he keeps possession. The only spaces that are open really are those spaces down the flanks. And it'll be Josh Key that needs to make the overlap and run this time. Doesn't make it in time, so Alex Petit just has to cut the ball inside to Alex Lowry. He's managed to find some space. He hits a shot with the outside of his foot. Just parried away by the goalkeeper. Potentially could have gone with his left there. As Daniel Jefferson just recycles it to Josh Key. About 10 minutes to go until half-time. Since that very, very early period of pressure, we haven't really created a clear-cut opportunity in the game. Had some decent spells of possession. And we have looked very comfortable in defence as well as in attack. As the ball is stolen away by Eli Just, and Daniel Jefferson can run at the defence for the first time really today. And it's dealt with well by the Swansea City defenders. Alex Lowry in a little bit of space. Alex Petit making a run. Lowry strikes. Not sure if that was parried away by the goalkeeper or whether it just went wide. It's actually going to be a free kick though. And I need to sort these kick takers out. Daniel Jefferson is about to take the free kick. I don't think he's particularly suited to it. He's got decent statistics. I might go with Daniel Jefferson. I would normally go with Alex Petit. Just going to try and curl it over the wall and into that top corner with Daniel Jefferson. About 2.5 bars of power. And it is over the wall, off the bar. And not over the line, according to, I suppose, the referee is responsible for that. Interesting approach from the goalkeeper as he heads the ball away. And I'm not sure if we're going to get another look at that one. But the game goes on. I thought we'd done enough to score there. Daniel Jefferson lifting the ball over the Swansea wall and crashing it against the bar. Gonna have to stay focused for these last couple of minutes though, as Swansea do their best to break the deadlock just before the halfway mark. As they drive towards the box, and Jesse Cartwright's going to have to be careful, and it's a good save from Nathan Baxter, the best of the game so far. Josh Key smashes the clearance away, and we're in all sorts of trouble at the moment. Alex Petit gives the ball away and invites another Swansea City attack. Really good save from Nathan Baxter. It was a shot low and away to his right-hand side that he got down and dealt with really, really well, and thankfully the ball goes out of play. And the referee whistles for the half-time break. So a pretty frantic end to the first half there. Daniel Jefferson smashes the ball against the Swansea City bar. And then Swansea City themselves shortly after come down the other end and create an opportunity of their own. Let's see if we can... I don't suppose we have highlights here yet, do we? We're not going to have those until the end of the game. Be interesting to see the replay from that free kick, though. I didn't want to stop the game and check out the instant replay as it happened because there was still a lot going on. And by the time the game had died down again, it was half-time. So 0-0 at half-time. Barely even first half. Both teams creating chances. Swansea City looked to get off to the quicker start in this second half. Oscar Duarte came across but didn't really deal with it. It was a mistake by the Swansea player, a poor pass that let us off the hook there. Swansea pressing aggressively at the start of this second half. As Jamie Shackleton makes a nice little run into that vacated pocket of space. It's a poor pass across the pitch though. Josh Key picks it up after the Swansea City player's poor touch though, and Alex Petit can now drive. Can he find Alex Lowry in the penalty area? Not quite. Alex Lowry a little bit flat-footed there. Josh Key swings it in though towards Eli Just at the back post. Cleared by Swansea, not far enough though, and Daniel Jefferson will chase it down. But Swansea City do come away with it. You can see Portsmouth on December the 12th is our next fixture. We're coming towards the end of December already. Feels like the season's going very, very quickly. We don't have a lot of money to spend in January, so... Oh, what a ball that is from Alex Lowry. Petit just couldn't quite pull it back to Daniel Jefferson, who'd taken up a good position. We don't really have any money to spend in January, to be honest. So it's probably going to be another quiet transfer window for us, unless a big offer comes in for somebody that we're willing to sell. There aren't many players in the side who we are looking to sell in January, though. January is already usually rather an awkward one, because you've got teams who are doing well in the league, like Bournemouth, like us. Oh, that's such a poor pass from Oscar Duarte. You have teams that are doing well in the Championship, like Bournemouth, like us, who currently have the 2 automatic promotion places. And so Premier League teams obviously see that and they come sniffing for their best players. However, because we are already in the automatic promotion places, it's looking like we're going to be playing Premiership football next season anyway. So those teams in the Championship don't really want to sell their best players, because they're the reason they're in the promotion places initially. They're going to be the reason they stay in the Premiership the following season if they do manage to avoid relegation. And the players themselves probably aren't that desperate to leave either, because of that allure of Premiership football, playing for a promoted team in the following season. So it's kind of an awkward one where the players are desirable, but they're not necessarily in a position where it's likely that they'll be moved on. Max Aarons is a good example of that for Norwich City. There was story after story, it felt like, every transfer window, that Max Aarons was going to be bought by a Premier League club. As Eli Just is in a bit of space, he's going to cut in and shoot, can't get it off. But Norwich kind of always were either in the Premiership themselves, having been just promoted, or were in a promotion place in the Championship. So he never ended up leaving. Obviously, he has moved on to Bournemouth now, and it looks to be a good decision for him, as Norwich are probably not even going to make the playoffs this season. Although still very much in with a chance. Daniel Jefferson picking the ball up as Redmont Rangers look to really get things going in the second half here. We've not created too much of anything, to be honest, in these opening 20 minutes. It's been a bit of a disappointing period after a really good first half. Eli just manages to nick the ball away, though. Daniel Jefferson with a run into the box. It's not quite in the right area, though. The pass from Eli just. Draw against Swansea wouldn't be the worst result. We have picked up 6 points already in this episode, so it would be a total of 7, which is a very, very good tally. And the referee, the assistant rather, has waved his flag again for absolutely no reason. Alex Lowry's going to come off for Matthew Garbutt. Samson Tavide is going to come on the left-hand side because he's been playing well there in these games that we've simulated. And I do want to continue with Daniel Jefferson up front. So I don't feel like we've got to press too hard for a victory here. It would be nice to put a bit more distance between ourselves and a playoff side. But if we simply don't allow the playoff side to gain any ground on us, that wouldn't be the worst thing either. Oh, and it's poor. We're working the ball into good areas, but just not managing to find that final pass at the moment. You have to anticipate Bournemouth are going to win their game as well. They've been on such a good run of form. It's just been impossible to catch them. So, obviously, if we draw and they win, it's going to be an additional 2 points that they go clear at the top. So, they've stretched their lead to 7. And they would be very comfortable at that stage. Samson Tavide with the ball on the left-hand side. James Shackleton inside him. We don't have enough in those central areas of the pitch. I said earlier, we get most success when we work the ball wide. When we cut the ball inside, we get little to no success whatsoever. That is one of the issues with this 5-2-3 formation. Centre midfielders can easily be overwhelmed and isolated. Big switch of play from Jamie Shackleton. Josh Key with the overlapping run. Daniel Jefferson is in a great space, all alone at the back post. It's a really poor header, though. Misses the target completely. Potentially had time to bring it down there on his chest and volley it across goal, but that Swansea City defender, number 6, he was coming across. He would have pressured Daniel Jefferson if he'd taken it down in the box there. Potentially was the right option, though. So coming towards the last probably 20 minutes or so of the game. A little less. I don't imagine there's going to be too much additional time. Tempted to bump up to our attacking game plan here. Just because Swansea haven't done too much when they've had the ball either. Not really been a threat. They've not really put us under pressure in this second half. And just as I say that, their left winger gets in behind. So we could press in the last 10 or 15 minutes for the win. Fairly conservative just by nature, though, so especially with 6 points in the bag already this episode, I'm content enough just to eke out a draw against Swansea. Jesse Cartwright's going to have to deal with this, and he does really well. Really strong defending from Jesse Cartwright. And Matthew Garbutt just about manages to find Alex Petit, who's got Josh Key outside him. He doesn't continue that run, though. Somehow he's found the ball at his feet anyway, but just needed Josh Key to make that overlap and run like he's been doing all game long. And on that occasion, just decided not to. Oh, poor from Samson Tavide. Alex Petit trying to win the ball back, but commits a foul instead. Matthew Garbutt pressing in the opposition half. Daniel Jefferson again in the area. He's run all game. We're going to make another couple of changes for these last 5 minutes. Daniel Jefferson can come off. And we'll bring Lewis Baker on. I'm going to rearrange things slightly, though, here. Garbutt going out to the right-hand side. And then that will probably be the only changes we make for the game. So again, a big switch of play. Finds Oscar Duarte immediately. Space ahead of him is taken away, though. Doesn't look like we're going to get a goal from this game. Although, as I say that, Samson Tavide makes a good run, and he's offside. I thought he was on there. Really thought he was on. About 5 minutes to go. Pressing from Michael Garbutt. I've done it again. Matthew Garbutt. And this could be one of our last opportunities of the game, so we're going to have to try and make it count. Samson Tavide with a run across the near post. But again, it's dealt well with by the Swansea City defence. That is the issue with the 5-2-3, going up against the 5-3-2. As we said earlier, we get the space out wide, but putting the ball into the box, then your striker is isolated. Great ball from Samson Tavide. To try work one last opening. Matthew Garbutt on the edge of the box strikes. It's a bad one. Powell picks it up though, lays it off to Petit, and it's blocked by the Swansea City defence. It's going to be a corner. Potential opportunity to steal the game right at the death here. Alex Petit is going to put it in. We're going to have a player run to the near post and just try and put it on or around the penalty spot for Burke Risa, who wins it. But the header goes over. We saw him score in that exact way in a recent episode. Just headering across the goalkeeper and into the bottom corner, but over the bar on this occasion. And that looks like it's going to be it. Unless we can win the header and launch one final attack here, which we can't. And the referee does blow his whistle, so 0-0 at home against Swansea City. Sounds like the Redmont Rangers fans aren't happy with that performance at all. Outrage in the stands. But I think it's a decent result. Second place against fifth place. It was an evenly fought contest. And it gives us 7 points from 9 in the episode, so I'm not too disappointed with that at all. See Swansea City with the majority of possession, but as so often, they've just set up to defend and haven't really done too much with that possession. Bournemouth only drew as well, so not a terrible result in the end, as Bournemouth will just maintain that 5-point lead at the top of the table. I'm disappointed we couldn't keep a clean sheet. We did keep a clean sheet. So yeah, attacking with more energy certainly is something that does apply. Normally I just click almost any answer on those press conferences, but sometimes they are apt, and I think attacking with more energy is certainly something that does apply. So Sheffield United, I think, gained on us. They are now just a point behind. Can we see the result on the right-hand side there? And I forgot to look at Daniel Jefferson's free kick as well. But it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, so 2-1 Sheffield United. So they do gain on us. So just a point ahead of Sheffield United now. Luton Town down on 36 points, 7 points behind us. So 3 teams really starting to establish themselves as the true contenders for those automatic promotion places. Bournemouth obviously one of them, but fortunately we are one of them as well, Sheffield United being the third. So yeah, all we can do is try and get another good set of results in the next episode, try and establish ourselves as one of those 2 or 3 rather, no 2 automatic promotion contenders. We can't do that in the next episode because we've got Portsmouth, Bolton and Barnsley But we do have a big game against Sheffield United to round out December. So not next episode, but the next is going to be a really big one. We're going to have Sheffield United at home. We're going to have the opening of the January transfer window. We're then going to have Luton Town and Norwich City. So that's going to be an action-packed episode. There is one episode to get to just before that, though, with Portsmouth, Bolton, and Barnsley. Again, not the toughest of opposition in the next episode. And I'm going to expect it, again, 6 to 7 points from the next episode, if not the full 9. I don't think we've seen the full 9 yet in any episode so far, but maybe the next one is going to be where we do. So we're going to leave the episode there, and we'll look forward to taking on those 3 juicy, easy opponents in the next one, and really, reaping some points. So I hope to see you there, and take it easy.